it's a time for reflection and pride in American gymnastics. The U.S. women who won the Olympic team gold medal in Atlanta are present. But except for one, they are here not to compete, but to inspire a new wave of gymnasts. Only 6 women can make the U.S. world team. For each, years of training will be tested like never before. Their time is now, and the torch of excellence passes tonight.
Welcome, everyone, to Denver, Colorado. The sunshine on a crystal clear day giving way to early evening. Inside McNichols Arena, that's where we're at. Doug Dunbar along with Maura Driscoll. The 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Last time it was here, 1990. But we return, and in round 1, you'll count 50% of the all-around score. Individual event champions will be determined here in this round. Then we'll move to round 2, where another 50% is added for the all-around score. The top 6 age eligible will make the World Championship team. More on that to come. A look back in round 1 action. Our individual event champions, Vanessa Atler, first of all, on the vault.
After being the 1996 Junior National All-Around Champion, she's in a good position to do well tonight. A front handspring, front layout. That vault is so difficult to perform, and to perform well, the gymnasts are required to do 2 different vaults, but they can be from the same vault family, and I'll explain what that means. But let's take a look at this. Front handspring, front layout, a completely stretched position, so you have to really have proper execution to rotate that skill, and it's tough to land. She had a little difficulty on the landing, but not a big deal. Now that's a good score for her. The vault is only valued at a 9.8, so that is the maximum score she could achieve. And her second vault, our Yurchenko style, beautiful vault, a 9.9. That was a double twisting Yurchenko. Now, Amy Chow, who was on the Olympic team in '96, performed that vault. It was worth a 10.0 then. It has been reduced to a 9.9. Vanessa Atler, you're looking at your 1997 vault national champion.
The way it'll go down in the record books in round 1, Vanessa Atler with 9.512, Maloney second, Antolin and Mohini Bahardwa tied for third in that critical first round that counts for 50% of the overall score. Now in round 1, Christy Powell on the bars.
Christy has actually been around the gymnastics scene in the U.S. for a while. She was a hopeful for the '96 Olympics. She had some injury setbacks. And also the first tier of athletes was so outstanding in '96 with, of course, Shannon Miller, Dominique Dawes, and Carrie Strug. She moves very well in this event. You notice her swing. Nice execution and toe point. Here comes a release skill, nice and high, into an immediate, another release skill. That was a Tkachev into a Ginger. This is a great routine. And she finishes with a full twisting double back to a perfect landing. Nice job for Christy.
Terrific round 1 performances inside McNichols Arena here in Denver.
And Christy is training under a new coach this year. She's with Mary Lee Tracy, who you might recognize from Atlanta. Mary Lee Tracy was the assistant U.S. Olympic coach, and she trained Amanda Borden and J.C. Phelps. This is her first release skill. Look at her height. You can see how high her hips are away from the bar. That's what the judges want to see. Nice height, a little knee bend, not that big of a deal at all, into 2 immediate back-to-back release skills.
On the uneven bars, 9.550 for Christy Powell.
Doug, the biggest change since the 1996 Olympics, a new set of rules that these athletes are trying to get used to, making it more and more difficult to earn that perfect 10.
Powell wins it in round 1 in the uneven bars. Mary Beth Arnold second, Vanessa Atler and Jamie Dancher tied for third. When we come back, more from round 1 here in Denver. Welcome you back inside McNichols Arena, Denver, Colorado. Doug Dunbar and Maura Driscoll and Kendall Beck on the beam. This is round 1 action where we determine our individual event champions, and Kendall coming back from a knee injury. This only her second competition.
And a big mount here, a layout onto the beam right on. Kendall trains at the Cypress Academy in Texas, which is a very hot club with several promising juniors and seniors in this competition. Big skill, back handspring, full twisting back somersault. Excellent.
Having only one competition under her belt in '97, coming here into Denver. Confidence falling on the side of having time off, or maybe a little rusty coming into play?
Well, I think she's ready for this competition, and she actually has full difficulty on this event. What that means is her routine is actually valued at a perfect 10.0, so if she performs it perfectly, she could optimally score a 10. The balance beam is a very nerve-wracking event as it is, and for a big competition like this, the championships, the national championships, it's even more stressful.
1997 at the U.S. Classic, she was third in the all-around. That same tournament in '94, took a second on the beam.
And here she sets up for her dismount, 2 back handsprings to a double tuck, a really solid performance for her.
Solid enough in round 1 to garner a championship when it comes to the individual events.
Take a look at this skill. It's a wolf jump into an immediate full twisting back handspring swing down. Now you can imagine the control that is required for that skill, because there's no room for error with just 4 inches of balance beam.
9.425 on the balance beam for Kendall Beck. She, in round 1, our event champion on the beam. Reagan Tomasek, a respectable second. Katie Dyson, third. Bowles and Maloney rounding out our top 5. Back to Denver in a moment. Give you a chance to enjoy more of the spectacular scenery just outside of Denver, Colorado. We are inside McNichols Arena for the 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships, highlighting some more of our individual event champions from round 1. On the floor exercise, Lindsey Wing out of Cypress, Texas, the 15-year-old. Holds a 4.0 GPA in school. Always amazed they have the time to train and to continue their studies.
Lindsey is a very clean gymnast. She is having an outstanding year this year. This is her first go at the senior division. She was a leader in the junior division earlier this year. She opens with a double front. Very difficult to land because it is a blind skill. And you see that skill cushion there. It is not a deduction to have that skill cushion there, though it does upset some coaches because it blocks the boundaries of the out-of-bounds line. And some people think it's unfair, but needless to say, it is no deduction for the gymnast. A 2.5 twist punch front. The difficulty with the new rules is that each event has special requirements that the gymnasts must fulfill in order to start with a base score, and the base score is only a 9.0, so these gymnasts have to perform extra bonus of 1 full point to have the routine be worth a 10.0, and Lindsey actually has full difficulty on this event.
Lindsey won the U.S. Classic in Seattle earlier this year, first in the all-around.
And she finishes with a triple full. I think she might get credit for that. It looks like she got it all the way around. Really a terrific routine.
Very nice. Thousands of fans have shown up here inside McNichols to enjoy some of the best gymnasts in the world.
All right, let's good job, Ed.
Take another look at one of her tumbling passes here. She's known for being very clean. This is her first tumbling pass, a double front. Whenever you're rotating forward, it's so tough to land because it's a completely blind skill, and she landed that extremely well. This is her final tumbling pass, a triple full. It's an E move, which is the most difficult skill you can do. Actually, it doesn't look like she got it all the way around. It won't be a deduction, but she may only be rendered a D skill instead of an E skill. What a score.
9.7. She has won it in round 1. Congratulations all around for a very out-of-breath Lindsey Wing.
I'll tell you, under these rules, you will not see many 9.7s.
Moceanu, a name from the Olympics in 1996 in second. Kristen Maloney, third. But for Moceanu, even though she had a pretty good finish on the floor, it was a rather disappointing round 1 for her. Things for the gutsy veteran not going well, making some costly mistakes. The first one we saw was on the beam.
An event where she is world class, but this is a really simple mistake. You'll see her foot slips, and that's basically a result of not doing a lot of repetition. She hasn't had much intensive training since the Olympic Games. She's been busy on the post-Olympic tour. Bella Caroli retired as a coach. She was training in Boston. Her father just built her a new gym, so finally she has a place to train in Houston.
We see one good release move, but then this on the bars.
Again, this is something that we won't see again from Dominique Moceanu. It's just that she hasn't had much time to reconstruct her routines under the new rules, and it's evident in her scores.
The 8.7, the 8.25, certainly scores she is not used to seeing when it comes to final round action. For Dominique Moceanu, a pretty big uphill struggle right now. She's looking to make that 97 World Championship team. Atler the leader, Christy Powell second, Maloney third, and Moceanu way down at 12th. Back, everyone. Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City, hosting the U.S. Gymnastics Championships. We're inside McNichols Arena, the determining site for the U.S. Gymnastics national team. I'm Doug Dunbar, along with Maura Driscoll. We, of course, are in a post-Olympic year, an opportunity for the sport of gymnastics to rebuild itself and look forward to the next Olympic Games. And here, top 20 athletes will move on and form our national team. But there's also some significant news on the world level coming out of this meet.
There is, and this meet, in fact, is the marquee event in the United States for the sport of gymnastics. But it's also more significant, as you say, because it will serve as the qualifying meet for the upcoming World Championships in Switzerland. The top 6 athletes from this competition who are age eligible, and we'll explain what that means later, will go on to represent the U.S. at the 97 Worlds.
After one round of competition, a surprise to many, but not necessarily to you. We talked about this. Dominique Moceanu right now in 12th position.
And the reason why it's not really surprising is because her intense training since the Olympics has been minimal. Her coach, Bella Caroli, has retired. She has commitments with the post-Olympic tour and also the new rules. Every year after the Olympics, there's a new set of rules, and she's adapting to those rules still.
Also somewhat interesting, our current leader, Vanessa Atler, after round 1, could conceivably win it here in Denver, Colorado, but could not compete on the world level.
That's because she is not age eligible, and what that means is there's a new international rule. They increased the age limit to 16 years of age. I disagree with it because I don't think we're going to see some of the best athletes on the world stage. More
on the age issue as we go throughout the show, and also coming up, we will highlight some of the rising stars in the junior division. So we get underway with round 2. There'll be 4 rotations. Mohini Bahardwa out of Houston, Texas, will be the first to run the 25 yards. Is the entrance to the vault.
And she is so powerful. Just watch her go. So much height on that vault. A Yurchenko 1.5 twisting. Vault in the laid out position. She is one of the older athletes in this competition at 18 years old. So she is age eligible, if you will.
She's been on actually 3 of the last 4 U.S. national teams.
This particular vault is called a Yurchenko. It's a round-off entry. Then she does a back handspring onto the vault. Watch her push and her height off of the horse. This is what the judges want to see. Height in the air and distance away from the horse. Tough to land, a big hop on the landing, but really good execution in the air. I am, of course, partial to Mohini because she will be attending my alma mater, UCLA, in the fall.
9.5 on vault 1. This, the second vault.
And remember, she must do a second vault. She does a Yurchenko with a full twist, a less difficult vault, and the scores will be averaged.
Second vault, 9.25, the average now. 9.375 for Mohini Bahardwa, the 19-year-old. Now out of Pennsylvania, Kristen Maloney. Last 3 years on a national team.
Kristen was named the 1997 Athlete of the Year by USA Gymnastics and Sportsperson of the Year by her peers. Really tremendous honors for her. She competed at the '96 Olympic trials, as a lot of these athletes did. And the reason why we don't really know that much about them is because the first tier of athletes was so tremendous in '96. Obviously, they took home the gold in Atlanta.
In the rotation, we move around the gym. Maloney on bars.
She had some problems on this event during the first round of competition on her release skills, so let's see how it goes tonight. She's moving well so far. Here comes her big release skill, a Ginger. Oh! And the same exact problem that she had in earlier rounds. a 5/10 deduction whenever you fall from the apparatus. That's something she needs to work on, obviously, because she had the same problem twice. It's important for her to finish up strong, especially with a big dismount. And she does. A little step on the landing, but disappointing for Kristen. She's doing very well in this meet.
On the uneven bars, 8.35 for Maloney. A lot of ground to make up on the other apparatus. The leaderboard really not changing right now. Vanessa Adler still our leader. What will happen is at the end of this rotation in the second round, this will then update. More from Denver at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships in a moment. Welcome back, everyone. It's the 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships inside McNichols Arena. This is how we stand in the all-around after one round in the middle of the first rotation of round 2. And Vanessa Adler, the young lady who has led it since the start, is next on the beam.
And remember, Vanessa is one of 6 seniors in this meet who is not age eligible to compete at the World Championships, even if she finishes in the top 6. Nice front tuck mount. She considers this her best event. She's a very crisp and precise performer. That's her style, very confident. Here comes her big flight series, a required element. Beautiful. Look at that height on that layout. It's almost as if she's on the floor exercise, and she is not. That event, the balance beam, is 4 inches wide and 4 feet off the ground. Vanessa is well aware, of course, of the fact that even if she finishes in the top 6, she will not go to the World Championships. And she said she really doesn't mind about that. She just wants to focus and not let that fact upset her gymnastics. And she certainly has not let it upset her gymnastics. Look at that. Front tuck with a half twist. So difficult. The most difficult skill you can perform in the sport, an E move. And it gives her 2/10 of bonus. And that's how these athletes raise the level and the value of their routine.
Adler is 15 years old. She won't turn 16 by the end of the year. And that is the critical factor in making the World Championship team.
It's important to note that this equipment is placed on a raised platform called the podium, which can be an adjustment for a lot of these athletes. And Vanessa doesn't have much experience with it, but it certainly seems like she's mastered this podium thing.
Vanessa Adler. The appreciation from the McNichols Arena crowd.
Now watch this height. 2 back handsprings into a layout. Feet together. She lands with her feet together there. So much height and really great ease. I'm so impressed with this young athlete. We will be seeing a lot of her in the future.
Great score, 9.550 on the beam for Adler, who still leads the field. As we continue with our first rotation in the second round, Christy Powell now, 17 years old, from Cincinnati Gymnastics Academy.
This has always been a fun event, a strong event for Christy, because she's always been mature beyond her years. And on this event, it really helps you because you are able to express your personality through your dance and through your gymnastics.
And we talk about powerful gymnasts. This is one place where she shines.
Look at that. Beautiful opening tumbling pass, a double layout. And a double twisting front layout there. Actually, regardless of what we've seen so far, which looks like a lot of difficulty, her routine is only valued at a 9.6. So again, the athletes still have some work to do to adapt to the new rules and reconstruct their routines, and the judges and the coaches and the athletes are still working things out.
The floor routine lasting anywhere from 70 to 90 seconds.
Christy first made a name for herself in 1995 when she won the McDonald's American Cup, which is a very prestigious event, after being a last-minute replacement in the meet. She had a tremendous competition, beating the likes of Shannon Miller and Amanda Borden, 2 members of the '96 Olympic team. So Christy is no stranger to the U.S. gymnastics scene.
Edging ever so close to the boundary mark to get a long in run.
And her 4th tumbling pass certainly did not run out of gas there. A beautifully high double pike and a solid finish. Christy is so happy to be here. She's under new training conditions with Mary Lee Tracy, who seems quite pleased with that routine.
Focused. That was such a good start. All right? One down.
Mary Lee Tracy has such a positive outlook and a positive approach, and that's why she has 3 athletes who have been with other coaches who are in this meet and now under her tutelage. Look at that double layout, a little leg separation, but so tough to do that skill because you're rotating without bending your knees or piking your body. Look at that score, 9.3 with a start value of 9.6. The judges only deducted 0.3 of a point.
The uphill battle continues for Dominique Moceanu. She's next. Welcome you back inside McNichols Arena here in Denver, Colorado. The senior women, the U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Adler has led it from the start. Powell Maloney second and third. But look at the bottom, Dominique Moceanu, a rare 12th position. Even at this point, Moceanu unveiling a new floor exercise earlier this year. Probably going to see it here today. She's got a lot of ground to make up.
And she is the only 96 Olympian competing in this meet. And actually, she and J.C. Phelps are the only 2 athletes from the Olympics who plan to continue international competition. She opens up with a whip to it. Oh, she stepped out of bounds. That's a 1/10 deduction.
When things go right, though, for Moceanu, listen for the crowd.
Especially on this event. She's such a vivacious performer. Very fun to watch because of her energetic style, and the crowd does love her, absolutely. On the floor exercise at the Olympics, she finished just out of the medal race with a 4th place routine. That was a triple full, but again, not all the way around, so she'll probably only get credit for the D element instead of the E. Gymnastic skills are valued from A to E, A being a basic element, E being the most difficult you can do. A D move is worth 1/10 of bonus, and an E move is worth 2/10. Again, raising the value from a 9.0 to a 10.0, 1 full point. Gymnasts need to combine skills and also do extra D and E moves to have a 10.0 start value. Oh, a nice and high double pike to finish her routine. And the signature smile to go along with it. A little bit of a problem because she stepped out of bounds and suffered that 1/10 deduction. Her routine is valued at a 9.8, and then, of course, the automatic 10th off for the out-of-bounds deduction.
Moceanu, the first of 4 rotations in the second round.
We'll take a look at one of her tumbling passes here. This is her first one, whip back into an immediate 2.5 twist into an immediate punch front. Good combination skill, but you see, she stepped out of bounds, 1/10 deduction.
Dominique on the floor, 9.325. Slowly making her way back. Out of Cypress, Texas, the 15-year-old Lindsay Wing. One of those young athletes we've talked about, age ineligible. No matter how she finishes here, she will not have the opportunity to compete on the world level.
And this is her first senior competition, and this is a biggie. She's done really well in the junior division this year, leading her team to the International Team Championships. Moving well so far. Little leg separation, slight form break. Catches her release move. It's called a ginger. The athletes are required to perform 2 release skills. There's her second one, a takachev. And her dismount will be a a full twisting double back, a little close to the bar there. It looks like she ran out of gas, held on too long, and landed too close to the bar. She could have done that dismount a little bit better.
Wing has been in the mix most of the day so far.
Absolutely. Again, age ineligible. Her coach, Debbie Kaichuk of the Cypress Academy.
We see this all the time, immediately following the routine. a quick review of what went wrong.
Choice, because it looked like you're going to hook your shins on the bar.
You can hear Debbie is talking about her dismount, and that's where she had the problem. Look at that, way too close to the bar, held on too long. She went straight down, straight up and straight down, and will suffer an execution deduction because of that, and a step on the landing, probably about a 10th there.
And the crowd sitting just adjacent to the bar as you hear a gasp because they see her get so close to the uneven bar. 8.6 for Lindsey Wing in the second round. After one rotation here at McNichols Arena, here's how we stand. Adler still hanging on. Christy Powell second. Mohini Bahardwa making a move to third. Moceanu moving up as well. Welcome back, everyone. Just outside the Rocky Mountain Range, Denver, Colorado. Senior all-around finals for the women. The U.S. Gymnastics Championships inside McNichols Arena. Adler the leader still. But Dominique Moceanu, interestingly, making a move. She'll need a little help. There are some age-ineligible athletes above her, which could certainly help out for her opportunity to make the World Championship team. Christy Powell, 17 years old. Somewhat amazing she's here with recent surgery in the last year on both legs.
After the Olympic trials, she had surgery on the calf muscles of both of her legs, and if you look closely, we'll probably be able to see this. Imagine, though, the strain on this event, the vault, pounding, 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 the landing like that. Really tough on your legs, and she thought she had shin splints, and then she said, you know, this cannot be shin splints, it just hurts too much, and that's why they looked into that.
Christy's vault gets us underway in our second rotation.
If you look at her right calf muscle, you can see the scars even there, and we'll see it even more on the landing. This is a Yurchenko 1.5 twisting layout. So she does one flip and 1.5 twists. Tough to land because you don't see the floor until your feet are at it. Takes a little step.
I was going to say the scars you saw on the right leg are the scars where they actually cut the sheath, which is a very thin layer underneath the skin that allows the calf to expand and contract when it's pumped with blood. And the problem for Christy was that that sheath was so tight it would not allow the calf to expand when she, for instance, would run down the 25-yard runway and pump the calves up.
She was out for a good 2 months, and during the time before her surgery, landings were excruciatingly painful, but now doing very well. Similar style vault. Yurchenko half layout front. Again, they must do 2 different vaults. They can be from the same vault family, and the scores are averaged.
9.375. Big smile for Christy Powell.
Keeping herself in the hunt.
Giving Vanessa Adler a run for her money here.
Just ask me why you're doing so good, because you've trained and you're confident. That's why. It's going to follow you all the way through the day, all right?
There's that positive energy and positive words of wisdom that Mary Lee Tracy is so famous for. And if you caught a glimpse, that was Kim Zemeskel.
Coach Zemeskel.
That's correct, who is working alongside Mary Lee Tracy. And, of course, Kim, the 1991 world champion and 92 Olympian.
In the second rotation, we move now to the uneven bars. Mohini Bahardwa.
She is such a strong and talented natural athlete. She has a beautiful bar routine. I just love to watch her perform in this event, especially her dismount.
19 years old.
Her name is an Indian name meaning illusion, which I think is the perfect gymnastics name. Her second release skill, a Takachev. Watch this big dismount. Explodes into the air.
Oh.
Pull twisting double back in the laid out position. Piece of cake. I mean, did that look easy for her or what?
Awesome job. That's that 210 we were looking for.
All the coaches looking for every edge they can get with the new scores. That's the 210s we were looking for, he tells her. Her bar routine valued. Look at this dismount. Unbelievable. Beautiful body position in the air. No leg separation. Pointed toes. Perfect rock-solid landing. Really terrific.
For Bahardwa, 9.5.
Out of a possible 10.0, and that is the start value that everyone in this competition is aiming for.
When we come back to McNichols Arena here in Denver, the Moceanu climb and the quest for another world championship team continues. Welcome back inside McNichols Arena. The 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships, Doug Dunbar and Maura Driscoll. And here's how we stand in the middle of the second rotation. This is the scores after one officially. Adler still our leader. Christy Powell hanging on to second place. Now we move to Kristen Maloney, who trains with the Parkettes out of Allentown, Pennsylvania.
She opens with a big mount, a front tuck on into an immediate jump. See a lot of this combining elements, gymnastics elements combined with acrobatic elements. Coming off a fall on the bars, this event is crucial for her, and the balance beam is often the event where things can fall apart. So let's see how she's able to maintain her composure. Setting up for her big tumbling skill. Again, the gymnast required to do a flight series. Back handspring, 2 layouts. Now, under the new rules, if you do 2 skills that are the same, you don't get credit for the second skill that is the same, though you do get credit for the combination bonus. At last year's national championships, she was 14th all around, so she has improved dramatically this year. And she has an excellent shot, if she can stay on and really finish out strong, to make her first ever World Championship team.
Now the dismount.
A double tuck, a little step, good solid performance, exactly what she needed to do. A huge sigh of relief, I would guess, for Kristen Maloney.
Good job.
She'll head to the support crew, and we'll take another look.
It's always great to get the balance beam out of the way. This is the event where your competition nerves can get the best of you. A little difficulty there, a little balance check.
Good comeback.
And she does a full twisting back handspring, straddles the beam and swings down. She's a little off there, but she saves the skill, a slight execution deduction.
If they ever voted to make the beam wider, I'd help them out with a vote. 9.475 for Kristen Maloney.
A good score again, rewarded because of the high start value. She actually had that elusive start value of a 10.0.
Dominique Moceanu receiving the loudest round of applause every time she takes to the floor.
Her first vault, a Yurchenko half layout front. A big step on the landing, but nice body position in the air, a lot of height and a lot of distance, which is of course what the judges want to see. This is an event unlike the balance beam where your competition nerves can really help you out, because that adrenaline can send you up and away, and that's what you need to do on this event. And notice the concentration on her face. She does a round off onto the board. Back handspring onto the horse, a half twist in the air, and a front layout. Again, tough to land because it's a front skill, a blind landing. That was a really nice vault, even though she took the step on the landing.
First vault, 9.225. Again, she'll take a second vault. The score will be averaged, and that'll be her final score in the second rotation here in round 2.
And the problem that she has is, again, you have to do 2 different vaults, but the vault values are pretty low. The first vault was only worth a 9.6, and the vault that she'll be performing now is only worth a 9.5. So again, you're starting from behind the 8 ball.
Much better.
That's a simple vault for her, really simple. Again, she's just, trying to stay clean and work her way, inch her way, I should say, onto that World Championship team.
You see the second, the vault average 9.237. Moceanu hanging tough.
This is a similar style vault, or in the same family or category, because it is a Yurchenko style or a round off entry. But what she does here is she does 1 flip backward in the laid out position with a full twist. Very simple. She can see the ground right there before her feet hit it, so it's easier to land and stick, though she does take a hop on the landing. She did her job, though.
So maybe not as difficult as she would have liked, but Moceanu putting in a steady performance. Remember, there's a few in the top 5 or 6 right now that are not age eligible for the World Championship team. All she needs to do is get in striking distance, maybe a 7th or an 8th, and she might slip in there.
And I'll tell you, the U.S. really needs her because she is well known on the world stage, and reputation means a lot in the sport of gymnastics.
Jamie Dancher now on the floor with gliders out of Covina, California.
Jamie is a club teammate of our leader, Vanessa Atler. They train under Beth and Steve Rybacki, and Beth was on the 1980 Olympic team. Watch this big first tumbling pass, Arabian double front. Whoa, that was great. Again, you see the skill cushion, no deduction for that mat on the floor exercise. I'll tell you, I'm very impressed with the abilities of both Jamie and Vanessa out of gliders. We will be seeing a lot more of them in years to come. Both of them age ineligible to make the World Championship team. Again, they're focused to come in and do their best.
Dancher, one of 7 children in her family. 4 of them gymnasts.
Finishes with a triple full, and that is the way to do it. That was perfect.
Boy, when everything goes right, it is so sweet.
Wow, that triple full and E element, again, worth 2/10 of bonus.
We've got one final competitor remaining. First half of
now, the judges, I believe, only gave this routine a start value of a 9.6, so I'm really curious to see what her score is, because I didn't see much in the way of deductions.
Right, Jamie.
This is her first tumbling pass, an Arabian double front. Again, rotating forward. Look at that height. She drops out of the air, really knows where her landing is, and doesn't have a problem with it. Excellent.
Jamie Dancher, 9.45.
Out of a possible 9.6. If she had a 10-0 start value, she would have scored a 9.85.
Signing a message. We'll send a message to you to stick around, because Vanessa Atler, our leader, will try to maintain when we come back. The 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. We're inside McNichols Arena here in Denver, Colorado. Vanessa Atler still leading. Powell, Bahardwa second and third. And for Lindsay Wing, it's been a pretty good meet so far. The 97 U.S. Classic all-around champion bringing a victory here into Denver.
This is probably one of her strongest events. She has a lot of very unique skills, starting with this very difficult mount. A round off onto the board and 2 layouts onto the beam.
This begins what will be a 70 to 90 second routine on the beam that is no wider than one's heel.
She didn't have a great routine in the first round of competition, and let's see if she can rebound. Watch this trick, an Arabian, a standing Arabian. I cannot tell you how difficult that is. It is an E element, again, the most difficult skill you can perform in the sport. Another change since the '96 Olympics that's worth mentioning is the elimination of compulsory exercises. Normally in the national championships, the first round of competition is compulsories and the second round is optionals. But this meet, first time, 2 rounds of optional competition. 50% first round, 50% second round.
Out of this meet in Denver, we will form the 1997 U.S. national team, which will be the top 20 finishers. Also the U.S. World Championship team, which will be the top 6 finishers.
And the national team is also a tremendous honor. She finishes with a double tuck. Good job. Nice, solid routine. She needed that.
And all our top finishers, of course, based on the age eligibility issue that has come up this year.
Better, yeah. No problems. You got your good gym actor.
If you think her coaches look alike, they are twin sisters. And they are running the very successful Cypress Club in Texas.
My takeoff felt really good.
This is, I believe, the only Arabian in the competition on this event. A standing Arabian. Unbelievable. Very difficult to do. Blind skill in terms of landing.
Lindsey Wing, 9.475 on the balance beam. That'll certainly help the effort as we begin to slowly wrap up the second rotation here inside McNichols. Jenny Thompson trains with the Cincinnati Gymnastics Academy, the 16-year-old. Last 5 years, a member of the national team.
This is a face you should recognize. She has trained with Bella Caroli, with Steve Nuno, and back and forth. Very nice vault. Really nicely done, actually. And now she's training with Mary Lee Tracy as she looks to make her World Championship team. And she has an excellent shot. 4 years ago, Doug, at 12 years old, she became the junior national champion. Then at 13 in '94, she jumped to the senior division for this meet where she finished 4th all around. Now watch this vault. Great height, beautiful execution, legs together, and a solid landing. A little bit of a hop and a balance check, but really not much to deduct there.
9.275 in the first. She'll take a second. We'll average the 2. And then you mentioned 94. In 95, she injured the growth plate in her heel. Pretty debilitating injury for a gymnast.
And keep in mind that that's really what kept her out of off the '96 Olympic team. She was a bona fide hopeful for the '96 Olympic team, but some injuries set her back. That vault was only worth a 9.5, so that's why we're seeing this lower score. But she did perform both of them very well.
9.25 the average for Jenny Thompson on the vault. Is our '96 U.S. Junior all-around national champion and our current leader.
With a few fans in the stands, if you can hear them in the background, cheering her on.
To the floor.
This is where I think she really brings all of her skills together. Her explosive power for tumbling and her crisp and confident movement for her dance, which is what the floor exercise is all about. And a double layout that is textbook. You know, I'm really amazed at how consistent she has been. It's one thing to come in and lead after the first round of competition, but here at the second round, her first senior competition, and she's still leading. Really a mark of a veteran, the fact that she's performing so well consistently.
Different sports, different personalities, and how you handle being the leader. Oftentimes it's the pressure of being the one being chased that makes you crumble, but Adler so far has held on diligently.
Especially here in her first senior competition, she is making some noise. And she finishes strong with a triple full all the way around. Outstanding. Adler
only needs a few more solid performances. I don't think at this point needs to hit anything out of the ballpark anymore.
And this is her first tumbling pass, a double layout. We've seen a few of these in this competition. It's 2 flips backwards in a completely stretched position. And watch the height. She explodes into the air and actually goes higher on the second somersault. Very impressive. Sees the ground right there and stands it up very well. And this is her last tumbling pass, a testament to her stamina, a triple full. Now, a lot of the athletes have difficulty getting this skill all the way around, completing the 3 rotations. Here it is, 1, 2, and 3. Now watch this. She gets it all the way around. A little bit of a form break and deduction there, but I believe she'll get credit for that E-move.
Looks like she did. 9.65 on the floor for Vanessa Adler, our current leader. We have completed 2 rotations in the second round of competition. The top 4 staying the same, but Lindsey Wing bumping out Jenny Thompson for spot number 5, and Dominique Moceanu edging ever so close to another World Championship team.
We
say hello again from Denver, Colorado, the host city for the 97 U.S. National Gymnastics Championships. Now, 97 really a transitional year in the sport of gymnastics. The 96 gold medal winning team has all but retired. Only 2 women actually remain in active competition.
And only one, Dominique Moceanu, the youngest member of the 96 squad, is competing in this competition. It's the changing of the guard, but the guard hasn't really changed over yet. In fact, a lot of the Olympic hopefuls for the year 2000 are still competing in the junior division. Well, we had a chance to catch up with some of these juniors who've had some success early on this season, and we highlight some of their routines from this exciting competition as well.
And a great opportunity for these young ladies whose names we'll certainly hear more and more as we edge closer to the Sydney Olympics in the year 2000. With 1 round complete, Elise Ray, our leader, Marlene Stevens, not far behind, Sierra Sapinar rounding out our top 3. Ready to show you highlights of round 2 in just a moment. But first, our current leader, Elise Ray. Spent a little time with her recently and have an opportunity to give you an up-close look at the 15-year-old out of Columbia, Maryland.
15-year-old Elise Ray made a big splash earlier this year by helping her U.S. teammates win the gold medal at the International Team Championships. Coached by Kelly Hill, who guided 2-time Olympian Dominique Dawes to gold in Atlanta, Ray exhibits a great deal of poise and finesse for such a young athlete.
No kamikaze gymnastics for Elise. She likes clean gymnastics. She doesn't want to be sloppy. So she likes legs together, toes pointed. She's not just a go-for-it type athlete. She's not fearful of trying new things as long as she's been prepared correctly. I think in her strength, she's an absolutely gorgeous dancer. Beautiful to watch. She makes it so light and easy. She's been wonderful to coach.
Ray spends countless hours indoors working on her routines, but likes to escape to the outdoors whenever possible.
When it's gorgeous outside, I love to be outside, and I love to help my mom and dad in the gardens. And my neighbor across the street, I like to help her when I can. And although time is limited, I do it as much as I can, and I love to be outside, just either jumping on the trampoline or just, you know, laying out in the sun. And I love to be inside doing, you know, working with pictures. I love pictures. I'm such a picture fanatic. Working on the albums or making picture frames, whatever it is. I just love doing all of that kind of stuff. Come here, Sophia. Come here, Sophie. Good boy, Buster. Okay. It's a good boy. Good boy, Buster. I really want to be a veterinarian. I love all animals, and I go with my mom every time we bring the cats to the vet, and I'm actually volunteering at the veterinarian hospital where my cats go this summer. For a couple years now, I've really been interested in that, so that's what I really want to do when I grow up.
Unlike many elite gymnasts who must move far from home to train, Elise lives with her parents, Ellen and Bill Ray, in Columbia, Maryland. The talented teenager enjoys time spent with her family.
I don't know how they do it. It's amazing between work and, you know, the transportation from here to the gym and all, like what my brother needs and what I need. It's just amazing that they keep up with it all, and I give them so much credit because I don't know where I would be without them. I'm usually happy all the time, and I feel like I have a great life, and I'm looking forward to all the things ahead of me, and feel that with all my family and friends, I'm good to go, and that I really feel good about myself.
After 1 round of competition, she's good to go. She is our current leader, Elise Ray. 2 years on the junior national team. As she enters the bar routine, you'll hear the words and encouragement of Coach Kelly Hill.
I think that was a mistake, and she's recovering here. Nice toe-on-toe off full pirouette.
Come on, babe.
And that is a big problem there. She jumped off of the apparatus, which is, of course,
Come on, Lucy,
half a
let's
point.
finish up nice and strong. You can do it.
There's Coach Kelly Hill, and this is really her strongest event.
She's very clean.
Come on, baby.
What she does do well. She actually didn't need to fall off, in my opinion, there. She could have just gone for the intermediate swing, which would have been a 3/10 deduction instead of 5/10.
Push it out. Good. Stoy.
That means stick it from Coach Kelly Hill. A beautiful dismount to finish off that routine.
Finished up really nice and strong. The pirouette was nice. The front giant half was nice. Layout fly. Good.
8.025 for Elise Ray, our current leader. Marlene Stevens now in the second round. 15 years old, trains with Cypress Academy. 1 year on the national team. She had a great performance, actually. The Pan Am Invitational earlier this year. First in the all-around, first in the vault, first in the floor.
And I have been following Marlene since her days as a level 10 gymnast, which is the level before the elite level or the Olympic level, where she was the level 10 all-around champion. Little leg separation there. Nice Tkachev, though. This is not actually her strongest event. She's a true power gymnast, so floor exercise and vaulting are really where she shines. Nice finishing dismount, but a step and a hop on the landing.
We'll talk it over with Coach Debbie Kajchuk.
Good job, babe.
Marlene Stevens, 8.375 in the uneven bars. That will complete the first rotation in the second round for the juniors. When we come back, they will continue highlights of the second round. Welcome back, everyone. The 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. We are highlighting the junior all-around finals. Marlene Stevens currently our leader. As we enter the second rotation, Elise Ray has now been moved to second.
And she is so pretty on this event. Particularly her turning skills. She has beautiful toe point, and when she does turn, she's so high on releve, on her toe, and it's so pretty to watch.
One of those critical turns, a required element, the 360-degree turn on one foot.
Exactly. She saved that skill, was a little off balance.
Coach Kelly Hill, you hear in the background. We have a microphone on her to kind of get that relationship between competitor and coach as the events and the moment is happening.
And you know, that's a very comforting thing to hear, especially on the balance beam, especially for the junior athletes.
It's not distracting.
It's not distracting. You're used to hearing that every day in the gym. She just said, calm down, listen.
So this is almost, in a sense, bringing practice to the competitive level.
And that is the trick, Doug, on this event, to simulate your everyday workout experience. She's done this 1,000 times. All she has to do is what she does every day in the gym.
Come on, finish it strong. Come on, stand up. Up, 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 up.
On the floor exercise, that was...
She looked to miss her foot a little bit there, but it didn't seem to impact her dismount.
Hey, you.
8.95.
That was a good save. You hung in there. You hung. That was a hard one to do. Chris?
Kelly Hill knows that was a hard one to do because it's the balance beam, it's the national championships. She's a junior athlete. This is a very big deal.
The next competitor in balance beam is Marlene Stevens.
Marlene, after the first rotation, taking the lead from Elise Ray. She is now in first.
Gonna go again.
15-year-old from Houston.
These meets are so important for the junior athletes because they are highly inexperienced. They don't have this type of exposure where all the pressure is on them. They're competing on podium. That's why they're inconsistent. But the more situations like this they put themselves in, the better off they will be to prepare themselves for the big moment down the road, of course, Sydney, Australia.
What's a big difference for the apparatus being supported up on the podium versus on ground level?
Well, first of all, the balance beam is already 4 feet off the ground. So to put something like the balance beam on something that's elevated even more, it can throw off your spotting when you're spotting elements, turns, and tricks.
So your visual cues aren't there like you're used to.
Exactly. And gymnasts are creatures of habit. They want it to be exactly what it's like when they're working out every day. And of course, competition is not like that. That's why these situations are crucial for experience and consistency.
Now to the floor exercise for our next competitor, Audra Bray.
We are in the middle of the second rotation, highlighting the junior competition here in Denver, Colorado, at the U.S. Gymnastics Championships.
2 back handsprings to a double tuck. Solid routine. All she wanted to do really was stay on. Trust me on that one. These juniors are glad to get the balance beam out of the way.
8.575 for Marlene Stevens. Kristen Tomei, the 97 U.S. Classic Junior all-around champion. 4th in the balance beam at the 97 American Classic. 2nd on the uneven bars. 6th in the all-around.
Kristen trains alongside Marlene Stevens, who we just saw at the Cypress Academy in Texas. Her required flight series, back handspring 2 layouts. Little nerves working there.
See the bruise on the left thigh, the price one pays, the intense training that goes on between 4 events here in gymnastics.
In the U.S. Classic meet in Seattle, which was the qualifying meet for the national championships here, Kristen finished first all-around in the junior division, so she is expected to be among the top performers here tonight. You can see that she lacks a little bit of the poise and composure that some of the senior athletes have, particularly on this event. And again, that's what the junior division is all about. Just working out the kinks and ironing out the wrinkles and increasing difficulty and getting experience.
It's the foundation.
Absolutely.
To becoming a senior.
Kristen's younger sister, Brittany, is also a member of the junior national team. The two are very competitive, but they say they are the best of friends.
Kristen,
and a double tuck.
The dismount, very nice. Tomei, 8.85. More junior action in a moment. Beautiful sunset here in Denver, Colorado, looking toward the Rocky Mountain Range. Welcome back to the 1997 U.S. Gymnastics Championships, highlighting the juniors. This is how we stand after 2 rotations. The leaderboard changing moment by moment. Sierra Sapunar has now taken the lead. Marlene Stevens, who led moments ago, now is in 3rd position. Sapunar, 15 years old, trains with Cincinnati Gymnastics.
Mary Lee Tracy again, the assistant coach for the U.S. Olympic team that brought home gold in 1996. Sierra is having an outstanding meet. And again, the same rules apply on the vault for the junior athletes. 2 vaults, 2 different vaults from the same vault family, and the scores are average. That's a handspring front in the tuck position. A fairly simple vault. It's only valued at a 9.3. Though her execution was good. Got a lot of distance from the horse. Take a closer look here. Handspring onto the horse. Good height. A lot of distance. Didn't anticipate the landing as well as she could have, and that's why she took that hop.
Sapunar, 8.925 in the first vault. You hear the music in the background. That is obviously during this rotation someone on the floor exercise. Bothersome?
No, you kind of tune it out, actually. It's actually better to have noise than to have total silence. And a different vault from a different vault family or category. And that vault was actually worth more, 9.5.
8.987 the average for Sapunar, who is our current leader as we make our way through the 3rd rotation. I want to give you a chance to meet this competitor, Marlene Stevens.
After Marlene Stevens won the all-around title at the Junior Olympic Nationals in 1995, she decided to make the leap to the next level. After logging many hours in the gym, Marlene has successfully joined the elite ranks.
Let's go. That's it.
Eventually, she was taken to a gym where she started to work out as about a 4-year-old. And one day, one of the coaches came and said, "Hey, your kid has talent." And eventually, she started joined one of the teams there at the gym. Later on, one of the coaches came and said, "Hey, I'd like to take your daughter for a little time after school and work out with her. And I guess that's when the shocker starts to set in that she really has talent.
Let's go, Mar.
Talent indeed, but for Stevens, discipline is also part of the equation.
Well, gymnastics helped me stay focused in things and other things besides gymnastics, like in school and like when everybody else is goofing off and everything. It helps you stay focused and keep studying and helps you make good grades and everything.
What's missing here? That's what I'm asking.
Marlene gets top-level coaching from Debbie Kajcik at the Cypress Academy in Houston.
You're just waiting. She has all the qualities to make an Olympic team if she really wanted to make the commitment. She's, like I said, strong and flexible and beautiful, and she has good parents. They're the perfect parents for an athlete of that caliber because they don't have the high expectations. I mean, it's not her total life. They keep a well-balanced for, even though she's made a commitment, it is her total life. They seem to keep it in perspective.
A lot of sacrificing, you know, going back and forth to gym. But I was surprised, and I think most parents are real critical of their daughters. You know, you just more or less just think, she's got talent, you know, but we went on and stuck with it, and here she is now.
The 15-year-old Stevens shares many of the same hobbies other teens enjoy: cycling, inline skating, shopping, and playing cards with her younger sister, Melanie. A solid family helps keep Stevens well-grounded.
I just say thank you and tell them I love them a lot, and I just thank them a whole lot because I really appreciate what they do to help me in gymnastics.
She could use their support today. It's been kind of a roller coaster ride. At one point, a leader, currently in third after 2 rotations. Marlene Stevens on the floor.
And we're getting into her stronger events, the power events, the exploding, explosive events. She's very strong. Nice double layout. Coach is pretty happy about that.
Throughout the routine, you'll hear Coach Debbie Kajcik.
Great display of her explosive energy there with those leaps. Really nicely done. Nice second tumbling pass. A lot of natural ability. I will say on this event, though, the juniors, like the balance beam, are less experienced, so they're not as comfortable showing it off and really selling it to the crowd. That comes with experience. She finishes with a nice and high double pike with a smile to match.
Finishing her 90 seconds on the floor exercise in fine fashion. Marlene Stevens, as we make our way through the third rotation, 9.275 on the floor. Good score. Back to Denver in a moment. Hello again from McNichols Arena, Denver, Colorado, the 97 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Doug Dunbar and Maura Driscoll making our way through the junior women's final. Marlene Stevens now the leader after 3 rotations. In the second rotation, she was actually in third. The lead changing hands many times. Sierra Sapinar, someone who certainly could end up winning here in the junior division, out of Wyoming, Ohio.
She's having an outstanding meet. Sierra's father was actually a tumbling champion in Northern California, so gymnastics ability runs in her family. She's a very clean performer, really nice Jaeger. Required release move. Look at her body position at the top of the handstand. Oop, that was a little cover-up, but she covered well. Just a little form deduction. That's the sign of an experienced athlete also, to be able to cover up when you make a mistake like that. She finishes with a double front dismount. Really nice routine.
Slide hop on the landing. 8.75.
See Kim Zemeskel there, who was helping out Mary Lee Tracy and Steve Elliott of the Cincinnati Gymnastics Academy.
Marlene Stevens getting set on the vault as we kind of do the math here in the 4th rotation. A couple of good ones, and Marlene could be our champion. She's our current leader now.
It all comes down to this, and she is in a good position because this is her best event. Watch her power. Lots of height. Really nice first vault. Yurchenko 1.5 twisting vault.
Marlene. Marlene. Slow down now a little bit and go for the good opening and a good landing on the second
Coach is talking about looking ahead now to the second vault, what she needs.
Because it will all come down to the second vault. Here's a look at her first vault. Nice height, a little crossed legs in the air. Blind landing. Very tough to anticipate that landing.
Judges' numbers are in. 9.45. Now, this is what she needs to win.
She's doing a different vault. Round off, half lay out front. Oh! And she landed with straight, completely straight legs.
Come on over here, honey. Help her off, you guys.
Oh, my goodness. It looks like she hyperextended her knees. Because that vault is a blind landing, you do not know when the floor is going to hit your feet until it actually gets there. She was trying to stick that vault, which is why she was a little short. And in doing that, she landed with straight legs.
Are you all right, Mom? Here, let's get a chair.
Let's take a look at exactly what happened. She does a round up onto the board, a back handspring onto the horse, a half twist, front layout. Now watch this, opens up early to stick it because that's what her coach told her to do, but she didn't bend her knees. The #1 rule in landings in this sport is to bend your knees.
What a tough finish for Marlene Stevens, while in obvious pain. It's all enough, though. Stevens, our winner in the junior women final all around. Elise Ray, our leader after round 1, finishes 4th. When we come back to McNichols Arena here in Denver, we'll finish up with the seniors. Coloradans will tell you there's nothing finer than a Rocky Mountain sunset. Welcome back to Denver, everyone. We revisit the senior division as we get back underway. The standings after 2 rotations. Vanessa Atler still leading, Powell second, and Mohini Bahardwa in 3rd. And of course, Dominique Moceanu edging her way up. She's in 8th right now. Stands a chance of making the world team. Vanessa Atler now. Vault #1.
Remember, she is the 97 vault champion from the round 1, and that was unbelievable. Front handspring, front layout to a perfect landing. She is on fire in this competition.
We mentioned she has led this from the beginning, and she's done a very admirable job of handling the pressure of being the person being chased throughout the entire event.
She certainly has, and again, she is not eligible to go to the World Championships, but she is definitely making a name for herself. Watch this. Front layout, straight body, a little bent knees, but she bent her knees, which is what Marlene Stevens needed to do, and she stuck that landing perfectly.
9.55. Well-deserved for Vanessa Atler.
Now remember, her second vault is a different vault altogether. It's a Yurchenko double twist. Watch this. 2 twists in the air. She has so much power and explosive energy. She took a big hop on the landing, which she's wrinkling her nose about because she knows how to stick it.
Better ball than yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
Some encouraging words from her coach, Steve Rybacki, and his wife, Beth, the husband and wife coaching team. This athlete has so much promise. It's really disappointing in my mind that she's not going to the World Championships because she deserves to be there, one, and the U.S. could really use her help. Watch this. 1 flip, 2 twists in the air, nice body position, a little crossed legs, but that's a tiny problem, and a big hop on the landing because she has so much power.
Vanessa Atler, after 2 vaults, will average the score. Vault #2 is a 9.6. Going to be right in that neighborhood. 9.575 after the vault. From here, we'll move to the other side of the gym. Christy Powell getting set in the uneven bars. She's the 97 U.S. national champion. very strong in this event. She'll begin on the lower bar and then move to the upper bar.
And there are all sorts of special requirements on every event. On bars, for example, the gymnasts must have 2 release moves, 3 bar changes, pirouetting and turning skills, at least a C dismount, so you can get an idea of how carefully constructed these routines are.
Again, that grading scale A through E.
Look at that release combination.
Look at that.
The height is what is so impressive.
The A through E, though, the E being the most difficult end of the spectrum.
Exactly. Oh, boy. Rock solid landing. A little close to the bar on that dismount, but really outstanding. She seems so happy under her new coaches.
What a competitor, man. That's so awesome.
There's Kim Zemeskel again.
Ready, baby.
Settle down now.
The 1991 world champion and 92 Olympian. Watch this combination. First, a reverse hack or Tkachev. Look at how high she is from the bar. Her hips are so high from the bar, and she catches it way far away, which increases the risk. The judges love to see that. Into an immediate Ginger. Excellent.
Christy Powell in the uneven 9.55. It's coming down to the wire.
Christy Powell actually went to a World Championships in '96, the individual World Championships in San Juan.
Now Mohini Bahardwa, very strong competitor.
A very strong athlete and gymnast in general.
She's in third after 2 rotations.
Talk about power. She's outstanding on floor and vault as well, but she translates that power very well in this event in things like this, her jumps, her leaps, and her tumbling skills. Mohini is probably one of the few gymnasts here who thinks the age increase is a good thing because it gives older girls a chance that they may not have had in the past. She is 18 years old. Oop, a little problem there. That was a side somersault. She'll actually be 19 years old in September. Competed at the '96 Olympic trials. Again, she's one of the second-tier athletes who was at the '96 Olympic trials. But because the top tier was so good, they really didn't get a shot to go to the Olympic Games.
The middle of the third rotation, the final round of action at the '97 U.S. Gymnastics Championships here in Denver.
At 18 years old, Doug, it would be the absolute highlight of her career to go to the World Championships. In a non-Olympic year, World Championships is everything. Nice finish. She had some problems. Some form breaks and some balance checks, but really stayed on and did her job.
Get a little
Good fight on that side.
discussion with a coach.
Take a look at her side somersault. This is where she had the problem. That is so tough to stay on the beam because you're somersaulting sideways, but she saved that skill, probably up to a 3/10 deduction.
Mohini Bahardwa 9.2. Small mistakes, price being paid on the balance beam. More to come, including Dominique Moceanu, currently in 8th. Back to Denver in a moment. Hello again from McNichols Arena, Denver, Colorado, the '97 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Vanessa Adler still our leader after 2 rotations. But Dominique Moceanu, as of right now, because of age eligibility problems for people like Vanessa Adler, is on the World Championship team. That's as of right now. Also within striking distance of a medal, Lindsay Wing on the floor.
She cannot earn a spot on the world team because she's too young, but she's making a name for herself. And this is one of her strongest events. Remember, in round 1, she was the 97 floor exercise national champion. Opens with a very difficult double front. After these national championships, the gymnasts don't really have much time to train before the World Championships. It's a very quick turnaround. They'll have a little training camp in New York before they leave for Lausanne, Switzerland.
Lindsay's rarely been absent from the top 5 leaderboard throughout the competition. Solid, steady.
See, a lot of the gymnasts on floor are performing 4 tumbling passes, though they're only required to do 2, but they're trying to increase their difficulty, and she ends with a triple full. Always pushing the envelope. A really nice routine.
Lindsay Wing from Cypress, Texas. Cypress home, of course, to the Cypress Academy as well.
This is her first tumbling pass, a front handspring, double front somersault. Again, anticipation of the floor is key, and she does it very well.
And a very solid performance again for Lindsay Wing. 9.5 on the floor.
I'm in the second half.
From here, we move to the uneven bars. Dominique Moceanu. Now, the 95 U.S. National All-Around Champion and the gold medalist from 96 Olympics, of course, is in 8th position. With the age eligibility problems for girls above her, she is currently on the world team, but she no doubt needs a very solid performance here to stay in that area.
And keep in mind that this is where she had problems in the first round of competition, right after this skill, right here. And she holds on to it tonight when she needs it most. Oh, and that's a little cover right there, but she gave herself a little bit more difficulty by doing a full pirouette instead of a half pirouette. This is a new dismount for her that she's preparing for coming up. That was her second release skill. A Tkachev, actually her third. And a big dismount, full twisting double back in the laid out position. Oh, she saves it from a fall, but puts her hands down up to a 3/10 deduction. You know, she normally does a double layout dismount, and she probably could have done that dismount because she had enough difficulty. But she went for it all and had a little bit of a break. And we'll take a look at exactly what happened here. She does 2 flips backwards and 1 twist. She let go a little early. That's exactly what happened. So she wasn't done completing her rotation and her flipping, and the floor was there. So that's why she landed short.
Keeping her world team chances interesting with a dismount on the uneven 8.85.
Her new coach, Mihai Brescian, who is coaching her at Moceanu Gymnastics. That's right, a brand new facility that her father built for her in Texas.
Kristen Maloney on the floor now.
#14th all-around at the Olympic trials in '96. Excellent on this event. Watch her first tumbling pass. It's a double layout, but she sends it into the air. Very nice.
We mentioned earlier she was voted Athlete of the Year, but perhaps most importantly, from her peers, voted Sports Person of the Year. That's everybody else that she competes against saying, hey, we like you a lot.
A tremendous honor, absolutely. Really nice second tumbling pass, a whip back through to an immediate double pike. At 16 years old, she doesn't have to worry about the age ineligibility question. She just has to worry about being consistent and performing well for the remainder of this competition. Kristen trains at Parkettes in Pennsylvania under coaches Bill and Donna Strauss, another husband and wife coaching team, which is a popular trend in the sport of gymnastics.
This the third of 4 rotations for the senior women.
And she finishes with a triple full and full difficulty, a 10-0 start value.
Great performance for Kristen Maloney.
This is a look at her last tumbling pass. Now, to do a triple full is hard enough. To finish your routine with a triple full is pretty amazing. 3 twists, 1 flip, a little crossed legs in the air, a little form deduction, but she gets it all the way around, has to step to the side, but I believe will be rendered the full E move in terms of difficulty.
Maloney, 9.675. Great score. A lot of encouragement from the coaches. Wonderful to see. We've completed 3 rotations. At this point, not much has changed, and Vanessa Adler is poised for a victory in Denver. Back with more of the senior women when we come back to McNichols Arena. Stick around. We welcome you back to the Mile High City for the 97 U.S. Gymnastics Championships. Sun's going down outside, but it's nice and bright inside McNichols Arena. This is where we're wrapping up after 3 rotations. Vanessa Adler, our leader. Powell in second. Mohini Bahardwa currently in third. Could move up. 1 more rotation to go. And for Bahardwa, this would be a nice way to head into the national championship scene as well as the world championship scene.
It would be her first world championships. An outstanding accomplishment before she heads to Westwood, California and the campus of UCLA.
Out of bounds.
I don't know if you have to see the yellow flag go up. Maybe the judges didn't catch that. Triple full, again, very powerful and explosive. Mohini's mother is from Russia and her father was born in India. Her name is an Indian name I mentioned earlier, meaning illusion.
A solid performance would put Bahardwa on the world team. And right now the battle really, as she does her routine on the floor, someone waiting in the wings, watching very closely every move, and that is Dominique Moceanu, hoping that the performance maybe is not so steady and that Dominique may have an opportunity to move up to have that insurance policy to be on that team.
And Dominique just needs to focus on her job and not the other athletes in the arena. But this sport is decided by mere tenths of a point, so you're absolutely right. The tension is mounting here in Denver. She needs to finish strong. Double pike.
Oh, that's great. Bahardwa with a rock-solid performance in the 4th rotation. That is her final event.
A big hug from Geza Pozar, who is one of the national team coaches. She trains at Brown's Gym in Houston, Texas, under coach Rita Brown. Here we go, a whip back to an immediate 2.5 twist to an immediate punch front. A lot of combination bonus there. And you know what? I don't think that's out of bounds. You actually have to kind of cross the plane. You have to actually cross that line.
And with that score, 9.35, Mohini Bahardwa, welcome to the 1997 World Championship team. Mathematically, she has made the team. Now Kristen Maloney, the first of 2 vaults.
Of course, the tricky part on vaults is both vaults must be consistently good because the scores are averaged.
That's just much better.
So she's glad that's out of the way, but the second vault is equally important. This is a round-off entry vault known as a Yurchenko. A little form difficulty, bent legs. She does a 1.5 twist. Again, anticipating the landing, opened up a little early, a little short, had to take that step. That vault is only worth a 9.8. This vault that she will do is worth a 9.9. And you know, the new vault values, I think, are the most difficult of any of the events. It's really tough to earn a 10-0 routine. Whoa, a 10-0 vault. That was a double full twisting Yurchenko. That was worth a 10-0 in 96, but now only a 9.9.
The average 9.487, and for the young lady who wasn't even in the top 5 in the earlier rotation, Kristen Maloney, has made the World Championship team. The question is, will Dominique? Welcome back to Denver, Colorado, McNichols Arena. After 3 rotations, Vanessa Adler hanging on. Christy Powell in second. Bahardwa and Kristen Maloney both have made the World Championship team. For Vanessa Adler, so strong and so solid throughout this entire meet. Her last event, just another rock-solid performance, and she can almost count on a victory here in Denver.
She has been like ice all night long. All she has to do is a routine that is mistake-free, and she's number 1. Here comes a big release kill. Oh, a common each, and she fell. A 5/10 deduction, half a point.
This is the first time we have seen her rattled by anything.
And she has 20 seconds to remount the bar.
Oh, look out.
It's rather bizarre. Normally, gymnasts would kip or get on in another manner. Now, it's really crucial for her to finish strong. Really disappointing. Nice dismount, but suffered the fall on her big release skill. We haven't seen that release skill in this competition tonight. It is very difficult to do, and we'll take a look at it to see exactly what happened. That is a Tkachev, her first release move. And then she goes into this immediate Komenich, where she wants to regrasp the same bar, but her hips are way too far away. She doesn't even touch the bar, which exhibits a loss of control, so she will not get credit for that skill at all.
And because of her age,
plus the 5/10 deduction.
Because of her age, she does not have the opportunity to make the world team, so she wants the victory here. That's so important. 8.65, disappointing on the uneven bars, and now the door is wide open, actually, for Christy Powell.
And here she is. And you know, for gymnasts, what they do day in and day out is strive for perfection. So that is very tough to swallow, because Vanessa had such a flawless night up until that point.
She needs a 9.325 to win.
And I'll tell you, this is an unenviable task to finish on the balance beam. It's tough to make up ground here, and a lot can go wrong. Whoa. But that was right on. Back handspring, layout step out, full twisting, back handspring, swing down.
And it's almost tougher knowing that the door is open.
Absolutely. And you know, this is the event, though, where experience can really help you. And Christy Powell has a lot of experience, whereas Vanessa Adler has very little experience. This is her first senior meet, Vanessa. For Christy, she's been on the American scene for a long time. She's been to a World Championships. And as her coach, Mary Lee Tracy, says, what a competitor.
She's going to need an absolute solid finish to this balance beam performance. Now that Vanessa Adler has somewhat allowed her the opportunity to maybe take the championship here in Denver, albeit late.
But with that, a spot on the 97 World Championship team. And who knows, maybe the all-around title.
Me so proud, I can't stand it. Oh, Chris. Great. Really good. 2 days in a row.
You heard 2 days in a row.
History, bud.
50% for the first round and 50% for the second round. And you know, in gymnastics, sometimes the toughest trick to master is consistency. But Christy Powell, an outstanding meet, full twisting back, handspring swing down, right on the money. She's going to the Worlds.
With that score, not only is Christy Powell on the world team, she has also tied Vanessa Adler for the win here in Denver. Adler opens the door. Powell, the experience and the solid performance is paying off. Now, the only remaining question, will Moceanu be a part of the world team? She has had some trouble tonight. She needs to finish 9th or better.
But that's a tough score and a tough position because she's finishing on the balance beam. But I will say, when she hits, she is up there with the best in the world. At the 95 World Championships, prior to the Olympic Games, she won a silver medal on the balance beam. She actually was the only U.S. athlete to earn an individual medal at the 95 Worlds. Some big skill. Nice tumbling pass right on. She had a problem with that series at the Olympic Games.
Again, 9.125. The score she's looking for. That's the critical number.
Also, Doug, in the first round of competition, she had a little slip, if you recall, on this event, the balance beam. Lots of difficulty in this routine. Very nicely done. Round-off layout. She's very solid.
Well, with all the earlier mistakes, she's really making up for it now.
As I said a few times this evening, she just hasn't had the repetition that she needs, the intensive training, and she's actually getting ready to go on the post-Olympic tour again in the fall. So it's going to be tough, I think, to do both the professional gymnastics and the international gymnastics. It will be interesting to see as we follow her progress towards Sydney.
Moceanu for a chance at the World Championship team.
And I think that smile tells it all as she waves to her fans. One of the most popular gymnasts in the world. You know, when all is on the line, she does know how to deliver. And that's why the U.S. could really use her in Switzerland.
On the leaderboard, she needs to finish 9th or better because there's 3 age-ineligible ladies above her.
And she punctuates that very solid routine with this excellent dismount.
Moceanu 9.4, outdistancing that 9.125 she needed. Lo and behold, Moceanu on the 97 World Championship team. Final results here in Denver. Vanessa Adler, Christy Powell sharing the championship. First time we've seen that in 25 years.
In 1972, Kathy Rigby and Joan Moore-Nat shared the title, but Vanessa's fall on bars allowed Christy Powell to sneak in and share it in 97. 3 age-ineligible athletes allowed Dominique Moceanu to make the 97 team.
So as we get set to say so long from Denver, Colorado, a look back over the meet. Dominique Moceanu, less than stellar performance, somewhat expected, obviously, but at the same time, she does enough to make the team.
And a better night tonight than she had in the preliminary rounds. It's great for Dominique Moceanu that she made the world team, but it's even better for the United States because they really need her experience at the 1997 World Championships.
Somewhat good news, bad news for Vanessa Adler. Good news, she shares a co-championship here in Denver, Colorado. Bad news, the age question comes into play, and she will not be able to compete on the world level.
But you know, nothing disappointing about it. She did an amazing job. I'm so impressed with Vanessa Adler and also her teammate Jamie Dancher. These 2 athletes have bright futures in the sport of gymnastics.
The team that was formed here, we look forward to the World Championships. Highly unlikely that they will medal.
They will struggle for a team medal, but not as inexperienced as they appear. Christy Powell was on a World Championship team. Of course, Moceanu on the 96 Olympic team. Many of these athletes at the 96 Olympic trials. So it's finally their chance to shine as they are atop the gymnastics field.
For Maura Driscoll, I'm Doug Dunbar. We will say so long from McNichols Arena in Denver, Colorado. Until next time.